I just kind of camouflage into the blackness. Like, am I just a floating head and some hands, or am I wearing clothes? Who knows? Tea with everyone. Welcome back to my sitting room. My name is Diesel, and you are, as always, most welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing a book, All Is Right in the World. Oh, I should keep my voice down because we're in the room that echoes. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Let's just get right to the fiasco of book reviewing, because, I mean, it's never well planned. I said it's never well planned out, and then I cut off my last sentence. Proof. Today we will be reviewing Red Rising by Pierce Brown. That's a lot of colours. Let's get right to it. The first thing you need to know about Red Rising is the author's a babe. But I'm 25, so I can say that. Moving on. The door closed, my hair changed, and the lighting is different. Let's just pretend it never happened. So what's it all about? Well, the first thing you need to know about Red Rising is that Earth is dying and humans have been split into a caste type system. And depending on your caste depends on the color that your people are called, and that depends on your place in society. The book is about 17-year-old Darrow, who is a Red, and he comes from a clan of interior miners of Mars. His mission is basically to extract precious elements out of the rock in Mars and one day put it on the surface of Mars, so that will tame the land, I guess, and make the surface of Mars habitable for human life. Because if they don't, and Earth dies, humans will have no place to go. So basically, the Red miners are the last hope for humanity. There's actually one slight problem, though. The Reds are being lied to. They are neither the last hope for humanity, nor is Mars uninhabitable. In fact, it's very habitable, and has been inhabited for generations by a class of people who like to call themselves the Gold. The Golds look down on people like Darrow and everyone in his class system. They have no problem using people for slave labor to get what they want and to have their bidding done. They will literally work people to death and not give it a second thought. But as history shows, whenever there is oppression or dictatorship, there will always be even a few banded souls ready and willing to fight. With the help of this sneaky band of rebels, Darrow disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates the command school where all the Golds learn to be the best Golds that they can be. Their mission is simple: take down the oppressor from the inside. Except the command school turns out to be a literal battlefield, and Darrow isn't the only one with an agenda. So sit back, relax, and get comfortable, because we're about to go deep, deep undercover. Try not to get murdered in the process. We will start our thoughts off the way we always start our thoughts off, and that is with writing style. And for the first time since Melt, I actually have something different to tell you, except that was a run-of-the-mill book. It's very hard to explain, but this book is actually laid out really well. There's nothing like overly different about sentence structure or anything, except that a lot of the sentences are very short, and instead of reading sentences that are telling you the story, it almost feels like the way the book is written is an extension of the story itself. And I know that's really confusing, but hopefully if you read it yourself you'll understand what I mean. You get a real sense of Darrow and Darrow's culture and like how he would speak just by the layout of the sentences, and I suppose also the way it's worded, but it just kind of made me feel like I really understood the rapport between characters. I know that's confusing as F, and I'm not sure how to translate it out of my mouth and put it into words, but I think if you read it, you will see that there is something a bit different about this book as opposed to other books. Now that I have 100% confused the bejesus out of you, let's go on to plotline. I have mixed thoughts on plotline on this one. And it's more good than bad, but I had some issues. First of all, on the good side, Brown really makes you care. The characters, like there were some moments in there that Darrow was having that I was so stressed for him, or when he had a breakthrough or a win, I had physical, that excitement that you get in your chest. And if you have been around for a while, you will know that I love to feel. I like to be taken on that journey and get emotionally attached to those characters like they're my family. And if something happens to them, I'm either going to be super happy for them or super devastated. The other thing about characters, though, is there is a lot of them. A serious lot of them. To the point where it was kind of hard to keep up. The Mars characters, there's a lot of them that I still would have to be like, wait, who is that? Every time Darrow mentioned them, or I would just be confused. And if they're not heavily featured in the story, then I didn't really get attached to them. The second part of the story, you do spend a lot of time with the same people, so it is easy to remember who they are and to get attached to them. But then again, there's also a lot of people who kind of just pop in and out, and you need to remember who they are because that's an important factor to the story, who they are and where they come from. And sometimes I found that kind of hard to keep up with all the different groups of people and who was who and what was going on. But the characters that you get to know really well are an excellently written bunch of characters. There's a couple of them that you will hate and you will love hating them. There's some of them that you will cling to that are just like super awesome characters. There's some really unexpected characters that I didn't think that I would like that are my favorites. So that was pretty cool. If you want plot twists, this book is probably for you because they're everywhere. They come out of the walls. Trust no one. Trust no page because they will all ruin your heart and destroy your reading life. Pierce Brown never gives you a minute to relax. There is nothing relaxing about this book. It is a stressful read. You are constantly like on the edge of a cliff, being like, what's going to happen? Oh my god, this is awful. Do you know how many cups of tea that I have to drink to make it through this without a heart attack? You don't. You don't. And the amount of feels, and there was a lot of feels. And characters that you don't know if you can trust, and situations that are just awful. It's not for people who don't like violence, let's say that. And it takes some super twisty turns, like, ooh, things happen that you're like, what is going on? And there's loads of moments when you're like, yes, this is amazing, and then loads of moments when you're like, oh my god, what is happening? Like, this is the worst thing ever. I'll never survive this. I'm so stressed. And I love books that make me feel like that. And for that reason, I believe the next book comes out in January, maybe. Yes, I think so. And I will be continuing on with the series. At first I wasn't sure if I liked it, but now I just have to know. I have to know what happens to Darrow. I do. I have to know because I've been sucked in, and that is what I love about reading. This book made me love books again because there's been a couple of books I've read lately that are just like, ugh, reading it was a chore. But this one I really enjoyed. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for both your beautiful face and your excellent books. That's all. That's all I have to say. Would I recommend it? Obviously, if I'm going to continue on the series, I would recommend it. If you give it a shot, please let me know whether you liked it, you hated it, you were as stressed as I was. But yeah, I really need to gather the thoughts to write the vlog. Okay, until next time, see you later. Garev Mahagus for coming, and Salon. And if you're going protesting tomorrow at Leinster House, see you there. Bye.